Guys, my name is Travis Curry. I'm with Industrial Electric Automation, and today we're going to give you crane familiarization training. First off, I'd talk a little about myself. I've worked for Industrial Electric for 10 years. Done everything from electrical to crane installations of cranes and crane training, inspections. So that's a little about me. How many here have used cranes before? Okay, well, let's make this easy, guys. This is.
Will they stand on one leg?
And this is Scott Hamilton. I'm training the trainer kind of deal. So he's getting ready to start doing more of the training. And we brought plenty of candy for you guys. So you guys can pass it around and. And the main thing about the training, guys, is that it's for safety and also to keep the crane in safe working condition. But the main number one thing is your guys' safety. And we'll go over things that you guys have probably seen and done, and we'll get started. This is our lesson plan. As you know, with we'd be here for 12 hours if we went over every single, and I read you every single thing. So we'll get started. Let's see, introduction. Okay. So, almost any of it, we always go off of CMMA and HMI. Every operator must understand everything about their equipment. They should know its capacity, its speed, the crane signals, the safety rules, etc. If they are to know the job requirements, they must be trained properly by qualified personnel. All right. Leave that. And since everyone here is not new to cranes, we'll jump into mainly the do's and the don'ts. Well, first we'll go over cranes. Basically, they have three parts to them. Your guys only have two, but mainly you have a trolley and you have a hoist. And in other applications, you would have a bridge, which would be the big bridge that spans the building. So those are your three operations. You'll probably see it on a test. And it's not up, down, or north, south. It's bridge, trolley, hoist. Okay. Also out there we have a couple of winches. I don't know, have you guys seen the winches at all?
Yeah.
Okay, you have seen the winch? Okay. Winch, it's pretty straightforward. Spool in, spool out. Some winches, they do have what are called like a coiler on the back to stiffen the rope, and some don't. In a lot of cases, you'll see, a winch, you see the wire or rope just get bound up, and it's pretty, like on tow truck winches, you see how they're just, if you keep tension on that line while you spool it up, however you want to go about keeping tension, it usually does a better spooling job and protects the rope. Right, exactly. Yeah, you want. And I don't think these ones have an automatic spooler on the back. Like I said, some do, where it's just a flap and it kind of keeps everything. So a good working practice is keep a little tension while you're spooling it in. Don't just have a dead hook out there and just spooling it up, because it's just going to make a mess.
What are those weights rated at? Weight?
Well, we have a 7.5 ton. I saw that one in the centrifuge. So obviously 15,000 pounds. 2 ton. We have two 2 tons. And the winches are, I think they are 1.5 tons. So, yeah.
Now, would they mount on the front of a Jeep pretty easily, or?
That's up to you, man. That's
Jeeps need them.
Hey.
But it is actually, with the winches like these Columbia winches, it is just like having a winch on the front of a Jeep. It's just at a water treatment plant, that's all. Then we can go over crane signals. All of you should have a card in front of you, which will have those signals. But your main signals are, this is up, down. Bridge is this way. And then trolley, usually, it's either the arm or the finger, And then, this is lunch. But do we have any questions so far about operating signals? Pretty straightforward. Okay, the big thing with these cranes out here are wire rope cranes. The ropes need to be 90 degrees. If your hook is here and your load is over here, is that proper? No. These aren't winches. These are hoists. And they're always meant, the running ropes are 90 degrees. So if you just happen to see a coworker or whoever, and they're pulling their clear over here, just say, hey, stop. There's a better way of doing this. Big thing too is stay alert. A lot of these, you'll see, we didn't, because we put this together, but a CMAA has a big manual, a crane operator manual, and I think you can even download it online. You open up the first page, what does it say? Use common sense.
So don't give your buddies a ride on it.
So we'll go over some do's and don'ts. The do's. We'll just, how about we just start with you, and you take one, and then down the line, we'll just all do it. Just start with do be familiar. You can read it up.
Do be familiar with all controls, procedures, and warnings located on the lift and do maintain firm footing when operating lifting equipment. So make sure that no sleeves are either approved, no of the rope attachments are properly sized, and the seat height for the hook saddle.
Do use safety latches.
Do make sure the safety latch is closed and not supporting any part of the load.
And you guys have seen that with safety latches, you never ever have any load bearing on that safety latch. It is not designed for any type of weight and can cause catastrophic failure.
Do feed the operators candy, get a good evaluation. Do make sure the load is free to move and will clear all obstructions.
Do make sure that the hoist, bottom block, and the hook are directly in line with the direction of loading before making a lift.
Do make sure that the wire rope is in the sheath and drum groove.
Okay, do we know what a shiv is? And drum grooves, obviously. If you look at up there, you'll see there's grooves on the drum where the wire rope, and it's especially designed by the manufacturer for a specific size rope to be sitting in those grooves. And the shivs can be made out of steel. Usually these days you see them out of plastic. You always just want to make sure it's free and running good, free in there. And you can see a saddle kind of sitting in there. And also, damaged shivs are a big thing because the rope won't seat in that saddle just right and will end up damaging the rope.
Do take up all slack carefully. Check the balance of the load. Lift a few inches and check the load holding action before continuing.
Okay.
On the winches, how long are the cables on there?
On these winches, I'm not sure. Like I said, I have not seen this facility. So you guys will have to, once you guys get familiar with it, if you guys have any questions, you can call either John Green or myself, and we can kind of help you with it. Is there a concern with how long?
Well, no. What I was thinking is that say somehow it gets cut or breaks or it's got a big kink in it. If you want to get rid of that, you can cut it and use the rest of the rope in this. You know what I'm saying?
You can.
The rest of the cable, anyways.
But for right now, it's because it's under warranty. You probably wouldn't want to touch it. Okay, the do nots. Sure.
Do not use damaged lifting equipment or equipment which is not working properly.
Do not use lifting equipment with twisted, kinked, worn, or damaged wire, rope, or chain.
There you go.
Do not use the hoist, load rope, or chain as a sling or wrap around the load.
What that means is, even with the winch, don't be going and wrapping that thing around something, even if it's round, and then hooking it back to the hook. Always use slings.
Do not operate lifting equipment unless the load is centered under the hoist. Do not apply the load to the tip of the hook.
Do not lift more than the rated load.
And if there is any question of what you're lifting, you need to get engineering calculations, or you can get a dynamometer and weigh it. So if there's ever any question, that's CMAA will tell you, go in, either have an engineer come in and tell you what this is rated, or the easiest way for guys like us, we have a scale. We put a scale between the hook and the load, and we lift, and we can see how much we're lifting.
Do not lift the load if any binding prevents equal loading on all loads supporting ropes.
Do not use a load limiting feature to measure the load.
Some cranes, and I know that the 7.5 ton does, I'm not sure about the 2 tons, it's going to have a load limiter on there. But it's not good practice to, oh, well, it wouldn't lift the load, but we know it's too heavy. Does that make sense? It's not really what they consider a safety device for an operator.
Do not use the hoist or winch to lift, support, or transport people.
Well, there went the afternoon.
Do not use the push button. Wait a minute.
That's right.
Okay, do not use the push button station to pull or position the hoist.
Do not hold the wire rope above the bottom block during hoist operation.
Do not use the wire rope to pull the hoist.
Okay. I think we've gone through enough. Oh, wow. Yeah, we don't need that many do nots.
Do not read so many do nots.
Exactly. Catch up with you guys here.
So quick question on that line.
Sure.
If I can't use the cable and I can't use the operator control wiring to move that hoist, I need a secondary way to move that then, because I often can't position that hook over an open gantry or whatever to position it until I got.
And you're saying, what you're talking about on the electrical cord?
Yes.
A lot of the electrical cords will have a big strain relief on them, and you'll see them. And they have a chain that hangs down or a cable that takes that strain off. Now, you're not supposed to use it, and the cranes here do have trolley function. So, they do have trolley and hoist function.
Okay.
Does that clear that up? Yeah, I know what you're saying. If the thing just goes up and down, but goes down a runway, how else are you going to?
Because we've just eliminated all the possibilities unless I
Right.
wire something else up.
Well, we had a long rod for ours. Pushed that over our basins.
Yeah.
We dropped the pump. So we pushed it out that way on the track. The track went out over the basin.
Yeah.
We pushed it out as far as we could. We worked that way. Then once we got a pump down there, we just pulled the pump
Okay.
on the track.
So, like I said, we have. I saw there's 2 of them. There's two ton Yale hoists, and they're located down there in the maintenance building. They're right next to each other. The 7.5 ton, it's located at the centrifuge, which I saw that. The ones I have not seen are the Columbia winches, and there's, like you said, you guys have seen the Columbia winches, so, and there's no questions about those. Okay.
So, that is an untrue statement on the bottom saying located at the north and south raw water lift stations, correct?
It could be.
Yeah,
Could be.
Never installed those.
Okay.
Ones that I saw for bringing those containers in is sludge.
Okay, so, down
They're
that.
mounted on the ground, and so I guess you can drag those containers into the building.
Okay.
After they get dropped off.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the